Today we're going to be hanging out in Santa Claus, Indiana. Daze with Jordan the Lion and you all begins right now. This most certainly has to be one of the coolest places we'll ever travel to. Gotta love it. Where it's Christmas all year round. And if you stay here, they even have fishing poles you can rent. Take a look at the Santa's Village here. These are great. They're all named after Santa's reindeer. Prancer's Loft. We even have a Lake Jolly here. You can see all the various cabins and Lake Jolly. Hello there, Ja. You ready to check out some Santa Claus, Indiana with me? Oh, you gotta love this. Another alternative place to stay, Santa's Lodge, where you're welcomed by a gigantic Santa Claus. Actually, two of them. Gigantic one right here. This one you're probably supposed to do that gag where you stand under his hand. He goes, "Oh, how tall are you, little boy?" Is that what you're trying to do here, Santa? I'm pretty tall and I'm not tall enough to touch, so. They do have an amusement park here, Holiday World. I'm not going to it, and Lake Rudolph. I want to go to the Christmas Museum here, the Santa Claus Museum. Their big water tower. Never been to Holiday World. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. 1935 Santa Claus statue, original post office, historic Santa Claus church. Look at this, greeted by reindeer. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. We believe in Santa Claus in Indiana. Heck yeah, baby. Santa's Peppermint Patch. It's neat, they were telling me it's the first theme park in the United States, and well, the theming of it and everything, and it was called Santa Claus Land and eventually became Holiday World. It's a cool history. Countdown is underway for Christmas. The history of this town is that it was originally known as Santa Fe, and it was large enough to apply for a post office in the 1850s. However, the application was rejected as there was already a town by the name of Santa Fe further north in Indiana. Legend goes that while the town was gathered together discussing the new name, doors of the building were blown open by a gust of wind. Outside, the sound of jingle bells was heard and a child shouted, "Santa Claus." And so it was, the town was approved in 1856. Huh. This is talking about how Santa Claus Park began. It was a man named Carl Barrett acquired the tract of land. He planned to build a Christmas themed attraction called Santa Claus Park. Then eventually he wanted to construct a Santa Claus statue. And so it was. A giant Santa Claus statue out there. Giant concrete statue was made at a foundry in Chicago. Shipped to Santa Claus, standing 22 feet tall. And it says, in addition to the statue, he was able to construct a wishing well, souvenir stand, log cabin, and totem pole. However, larger plans, including a Christmas tree arboretum, were unrealized. And then we'll check out the Candy Castle on our way out. Here they have a little mailbox and decades worth of letters to Santa Claus, going back to the 30s and 40s. Some of their favorites on display. And then down here they have all kinds of different Santa Claus toys and figurines. Santa Claus cannot exist without people like you and me to keep him alive. Life is too short not to believe in Santa Claus. In this case, they have some of the early mementos and souvenirs from Santa Claus land. And they have like a full room train, holiday train. Oh, I think it's this one. It's even got the Holiday World water tower. Oh, it came off the track, kind of. Have no fear, that's only one train. They have actually two trains in there. So this one's going, unless I break this one also. This one's better, this one's all lit up anyway. Yeah, that one's a bell. Then over here, they have a scene of a little kid sitting with Santa and talking about Jim Yellig, the quintessential Santa Claus. Legend here. Long ago, and not so far away, there was a jolly man who dearly loved all children, not just his own. His given name was Raymond Joseph Yellig, but throughout the country he was known as Santa Jim. I push that button.
Girls, you sounded wonderful today. And Santa Claus knows all your needs and his
It says each day, no matter what the weather, Santa Jim wore this very suit, along with his yak full beard, trademark boots and belt. His hearty ho 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 never failed to cause children of all ages to smile with delight. He required twice as many pairs of pants as jackets.
My really big memory is sitting around our dining room table. He would bring letters home, and the dining room table had a beautiful crocheted tablecloth. I don't know if it was my mother that had crocheted it, but my mother was
this was his cabinet right here.
We have to answer these letters. So I started when I was probably 12 or 13 helping to answer letters. Then another time, actually it was in waiting in a hospital for him to see a doctor. I was sitting with him and I noticed the little boy poking his mother, kept poking his mother and whispering, and the mother would go, no, 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 no. And he'd come over and he'd look and then he'd walk back. And then when they called my father's name come in, the woman said, it is him. Because the child was telling him her that, and she didn't realize it or didn't. And so those were two incidents that made me realize that it didn't make any difference how he was dressed. Somehow that was him. And the children recognized it. Great laugh, belly laugh, all the way from, bottom of his feet all the way up. And he was a very, very exuberant, happy person. And what I remember so much about him is how he would be so excited about things. I watched is it the mustard plants growing in the fields now? And he would say, aren't they beautiful? Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Anything that happened was just such a great thing. When people say, you know, what would your dad say about Holiday World and all this? They would have loved it. He would have been the first person to want to ride on I-64, the first person to go out. He just was very, very always very childlike about his excitement about things. Maybe he got that from being around children, which is a great way to be.
This is showing that Jim is in the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame, as he should be. There's one of his belts and glasses. It says more than 1 million children sat on Santa Jim's lap over the 4 decades he spent at Santa Claus Land, the magical town of Santa Claus. Happiness, Jim once said, is what it's all about. I make kids happy. And the mural here was the actual backdrop from Santa's Kris Kringle house in Santa Claus Land, the world's first theme park. Which makes that even cooler, knowing that that whole thing, that whole backdrop was original. They were able to move it here. Yeah, you can see up in the corner up here, it says 1959. What a way to keep his memory alive. I love it. So how cool is that, that Jim as Santa would answer all of the letters and do things like that. This is Santa's office. They actually have Santa's office in here, still set up. Some cabinets. And you could have came in here and taken a photo. This is just awesome. This place is amazing. This is just the museum part. Some vintage toys up here. Now this wall is celebrities that residents here in Santa Claus have sent fan letters to, and $1 requesting for them to give them an autograph. And you can see a lot of them returned the $1, and it's a lot of people we recognize, of course. Like Doris Day, Danny DeVito, Patrick Duffy, Howard Cosell, Barry Manilow, Flo, Edith Bunker, Joyce DeWitt, Janet, Ricardo Montalban, Frank Sinatra. There's nothing as universal as the spirit of Santa Claus. So now we're gonna wander the village. She said that I can write a letter to Santa Claus if I want. They do have a giant cart here as we drove in for letters to Santa. And the whole experience is free. All donations, or if you want to buy a shirt. So this is the post office. And I noticed all the bike trails in town have these safety rails painted like candy canes. Here is the original post office. We gotta look inside. Well, I imagine they get a lot of class trips and schools and kids, as you can imagine. They have all kinds of places to sit to fill out your letter to Santa. And you can do it right here. Sit there anywhere you want and mail your letter to Santa right there. Throw your child with a letter from Santa. So if you're at home watching this, you can do this. If you're a child or if you're a parent, you can go ahead and do this. Just send it here. You will get a response. It says the original Santa Claus post office. The building was used as the first post office in Santa Claus, Indiana, 1856. And then look at that gigantic sleigh full of gifts and mail. And it says, make sure you include your return address. Mail your letter here, jingle the bells so the elves know to check the mail. That is a fun thing. Santa Land soldier here. Looks like you can also send it this way. Come get it, elves. So those are the doors that we came in. All right. All right, I want to go see the Santa statue. There's the church. There's the well. Of course. What would it be without a fun pick photo op right here in front with the big statue behind you? Who can resist?
We made it to Santa Claus!
Now let's go up here and get a better view. Well, we got a meteor crater here too. Well, wow. That's probably why there's a big indentation down there. So it looks like it says different things around the base of Santa all the way around. It says, life hath given thee nothing more sweet than the patter of feet across thy floor. And you're not allowed to get right up there, but it is on a star base right here. Dedicated to the children of the world. Memory of an undying love. Mr. Barrett. Carl Barrett. And then the other side says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy cup of life may be overflowing with happiness. It says here that it was unveiled in 1935, was the centerpiece of Santa Claus Park. Then on the back side it says, there is nothing so universal as the spirit of Santa Claus. Very cool. I'm glad I finally made it here. I've read about this place for years. Never got here. I wish I had time to go to Holiday World, but I just went to Valley Fair. I don't do too many amusement parks per year usually. Right outside the museum, they have a couple of cool things to look at. A historical plaque saying Santa Claus Land Holiday World 50th anniversary here on August 3rd, 1946, the first theme park in the world. Santa Claus Land first opened its gates. Today, we, the owners, managers, employees of Holiday World, rededicate ourselves to bring joy to the children of the world. And then here's another place where you can mail a letter to Santa Claus if you don't want to do it from the post office over here. You can do it right there, which is pretty cool. I love it. And get a response. The lady inside recommended the Candy Castle as well, so let's go check that out. Candy Castle is not even 1 minute away driving. Yeah, not just a clever name. Literally a castle filled with candy. How cool is this? Let's go on in and check it out. Actually enter from the side right here, but they are open. As soon as you walk in, they have an arrow pointing this way for the full castle experience. Oh wow. They're making candy in here. But they also have normal candies and kind of oddball candies, candy cigarettes from when we were kids. And all kinds of Cool pictures, historical pictures on the wall from here. You can see the interior is done just like a castle, the way you would hope. All the way down to a chimney. And of course, Mick Foley, Mankind. Cactus Jack is a huge Santa Claus fan, and this is from him. That's an image of him as Santa, and when he was here signing an autograph. Anybody want some gummy bologna? Oh, if Katie were here, I would totally get both of these for us. I love rock candy. One of my favorite shows, The Office. The Dundee Award. Santa Claus meeting some kids outside. So now we're gonna head into this room, which is all the Jelly Belly jelly bean stuff. Harry Potter chocolate wands. Yeah, candy is amazing now. There's no bounds. And we're in a Christmas castle buying it. How much better can it get than that? Museum said to get their frozen hot chocolate, I guess. See how good this frozen hot chocolate was. Like I said, that was the #1 most popular item, I was told, and that's what they say here too. Look at their flavors of popcorn. Pizza, sugar cookie, fire. Oh, and here's Mick Foley when he was here. Alright, that was quick. Here it is. Alright, real-time taste test of the frozen hot chocolate. Wow, that is one of the greatest, richest things I've ever put in my mouth. That's really, really good. That is really good. Yes, indeed. Highly recommended. It's about $5, but, you know, it's a specialty item. Highly, highly recommended. If I had to compare it to something, it would probably be a little bit stronger version of a Frosty, maybe? Well, my friends, we're gonna call it a day. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed Santa Claus, Indiana. If you're anywhere near here, please come check it out. I think you'll have a blast. Wish I could spend the night and check out more of the town and see what it looks like lit up at night, but I'll do that in the future. Looking forward to it. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great night. And goodbye.
Cause there's a grace by me.